Good morning, everyone. We've got an elimination race about to take way here. The Bermuda Triangle Super Speedway. We are going to have the sprint qualifier to set up the race here, where the 14 drivers are still fighting. They're not part of the top 35 in points, so they have to race their way in each week. Never raced at Bermuda Triangle Super Speedway before, so this is a first for the NSSR series of racing.
Just make sure you get everything like you want it.
So in our first
Favor, just touch all your seatbelts, touch all your connections, touch your Hans. Just make sure you get everything like you want it.
So starting in the elimination, well, I'm not getting ahead of myself here. Starting in the sprint qualifier, our front row includes the 11 of Craig Bush and the 33 of Kourting Smith, the 44 of Logan Nagy and the 187 of Charlie Chippington, the 135 of Brandon Petrolsky and the 84 of Luke West. And we've got the 35 of Kat Durham and the 94 of Paulo Ladino. The number 7 of Roland Heidfeld and the 64 of Jacob Schangle. The 71 of Matias Nunez, the 81 of Mike Bliss Jr., and the 74 of Andrew Moger, and the 86 of Josh Drake.
Gentlemen, start your...
Only 7 of the 14 in this sprint eliminator move on to the main event tonight. And it looks like we've got some troubles start of the race here. It looks like Logan Nagy broke something. Gives it a little bit of a misstart here. See if the other trucks will get caught up to the back here. It looks like they're going to have a hard time starting this race. They won't even have the lead draft. Actually, they might have an unfair advantage. They're probably going to come blowing by them as they already got up to speed early. Yeah, look at that. Look at the distance they're closing in on them. Okay, we're underway here, it looks like. Even though Logan Nagy is already eliminated, it looks like. Out front early is Kourting Smith over Craig Bush and Luke West. Not knowing this track, it seems like the camera angles are a little bit difficult. There's a lot of extra track detail at this track. Currently our top 7 includes Kourting Smith, Luke West, Brandon Petrolsky, Craig Bush, Roland Heidfeld, myself, and the 35 of Kat Durham, currently in a transfer position. Mike Bliss Jr. made his first guaranteed start last week at the Dirt Devil racetrack. The only driver in this field of qualifying is the 35 has failed to make the main event yet, so Mr. Durham's going to be hoping that he can get into the top 7 here and make his first USA Truck Series start. Roland Heidfeld would be a surprise, as he's failed to finish very well in most of the races he's run this year. He's able to win or even finish second, it looks like he's running. Bram Petrolsky, another one that's had a rough season so far, so top 2 at the moment, definitely surprising. Howdy, Gavin. Thanks for tuning into the race here today. Man, I gotta retrain my brain because this is a day race, full on. I'm used to live streaming at night, but I think this will be a little bit better live stream since more people will probably be able to tune into it. Roland Heidfeld leads over Brandon Petrolsky, and Mike Bliss Jr. sitting solidly in 3rd there. Paul Ladino up to 4th. He's been doing pretty good there in 4th. Matias Nunez is going to give him a pass here. Josh Drake and Andrew Moger currently are top 7. Is October 10th a holiday? Why wouldn't there be any school today? Looks like I've got myself into a transfer position at the moment with a little bit of drafting help there from Charlie Chippington. Matias Nunez making a pass on Brandon Petrolsky there for the lead. Definitely rooting for Cat Durham to make his first start in the Truck Series. Guys, work cut out for him there, running at the back of the pack there. With 13 laps to go here in the sprint qualifier. He's still got a lot of chances to get up to the front. Yeah, it's a crazy cup race yesterday. We had there wasn't any cautions all the way through, and then at the end of the race we had like 3 or 4 cautions that really just changed the whole outcome of that race. Hoping tonight maybe we might have something like Christopher Bell coming out last minute buzzer beater. Hope we might have something like that in the USA Trucks today. Looking at it, we've got Jack Ross, who's in a must-win situation, and Maggie Reames is also in a must-win situation. Yeah, the defending Cup champion Kyle Larson getting knocked out. That was pretty crazy. I'm glad that Chase Briscoe's still alive in the playoff hunt, so hopefully he can win the championship. I would love that, because I ended up getting a signed Chase Briscoe diecast, so that would make my Chase Briscoe diecast worth something if he was able to win the championship. Closing in on halfway through this qualifier sprint. There hasn't been any wrecking. Colton Smith, Roland Heidfeld, Andrew Moger, Luke Smith, Cat Durham at the moment, and Craig Bush are your transferees. It looks like Mike Bliss Jr. might be in 7th at the moment. The way that the draft is helping him gain positions here on the inside. And Cat Durham to the lead, so not only does he want to transfer to the main event, he might try to win this qualifier here. With a little bit of drafting help from fellow comrade there, Mike Bliss Jr. Nine laps to go in this qualifying race. Transfers include Durham, Mike Bliss Jr., Colton Smith, Paul Ladino, Charlie Chippington, and Andrew Moger at the moment. And it looks like the 71 truck of Matias Nunez might be in it at the moment. Apart from the early race drama where Logan Nagy failed to roll off the start, there hasn't been any wrecks or caution. All 14 trucks have kept them going straight here. Lead has been pretty well dominated by a select group at the front. We had Brandon Petrolsky leading a lot early, and then we had Cat Durham up there leading for a while. Colton Smith started this race off with the lead, and now it's Matias Nunez over Paul Ladino with Petrolsky and Drake, Charlie Chippington, Mike Bliss Jr., and Craig Bush. Cat Durham leading earlier. He looks like he's going to drop all the way to the back here, which might be a blessing because it'll give him one more opportunity to ride the conveyor belt back to the front. With 6 laps to go, you probably don't want to be leading the race, or you might not want to be in a position where you can fall backwards in the closing laps here. Your transfer position of 7th looks to be amongst the pack of 6 in the middle there. And whoever's on the high side is going to lose out on any opportunity of defending their position, since the trucks on the inside are going to be coming faster. All Logan Nagy can do is play spoiler right now, or hope for an 8 truck pileup that'll give him 8 spots on track. And if that were to happen, he would need it to happen within the next 2 laps, since he's already 2 laps down. Closing in on 4 laps to go here. And there's no telling who's going to transfer to the main event. A little bit of setup for the main event. Rolling into this race, Tim Kourting and Chadwick are basically a lock for the round of 6 already. After the round of 6, we cut it down to the round of 3 for the finale. But our round of 9 right now is a pretty solid bunch with Tim Kourting, Chaz Chadwick, Guido Piano, Jordan Walker, Aunt Me Person, Jessica Hergeson, Tim Hansen, Maggie Reames, and Jack Ross. Jack Ross and Maggie Reames have only been able to secure 1 point in the last 2 races, so they're definitely going to be looking to set it on kill today here at Bermuda Triangle Superspeedway. Jessica Hergeson is 1 point to the good at the moment over Tim Hansen, but all signs point to must-win scenarios for Maggie Reames and Jack Ross. Chadwick has a 37 point lead, and max points you can get usually is about 35. So Chadwick and Tim Kourting are definitely a lock for the next round of 6. This right here is all our drivers outside the top 35 in points fighting for the last 7 qualifying spots in the race. So a lot of these drivers are not even in title contention, but they could still work their way into the main event and steal a win in the main event. You never know. It happened at one of the last tracks at Bullet Super Speedway, where I came through the LCQ to come home and win the race at Bullet. So currently our top transfers are Josh Drake, Mike Bliss Jr., Kat Durham, Roland Heidfeld, Charlie Chippington, Luke West, and Brandon Petrolsky. And it's going to be white flag this time by. And hopefully the drivers have made their best moves to get to the front here, because they're going to only have one more lap to fight for a transfer position here. Currently, Roland Heidfeld is losing his transfer position to myself in the 64 truck. Me and Mike Bliss Jr. in a transfer spot right now. Paul Ladino's making a move there. It looks like Paul Ladino's going to work his way into a transfer spot. Oh, at the moment, the whole inside line is going to eliminate some drivers that had an opportunity as they come across the start-finish line. Our last transfer spot for the main event today here is the 86 of Josh Drake. And then we got Paul Ladino. Kat Durham makes his first career start in the USA Truck Series. The 64 of myself, the 74 of Andrew Moger, and then the 2 triple-digit numbers, which shows that the margin of finish was .00 for the 187 and the 135, giving the 135 the win here in the sprint qualifier. We'll have to see just how close that finish was. As you can see, it's deceiving because it looks like the 135 had the nose on... Oh, yeah. I got it backwards. The 135 is Brandon Petrolsky, and the 187 is Charlie Chippington. Man, by a hair over Charlie Chippington there. So that was a photo finish, and probably a taste of what the main event here is going to be. It doesn't get much closer than that for the finish line photo there. So let me just get this set up for the main event. 80 laps, 200 miles here at Bermuda Triangle Super Speedway. It's going to be nice that I actually have another race under my belt here in the USA Truck Series. I've had 1 win and 3 starts. Perhaps I can go out there and make it 2 on 4. How's everyone doing today? Hopefully enjoying this brisk fall weather. Winter's right around the corner for us, and you'll be probably shoveling snow before you know it. So first off, I've got to set up, just hang tight with me here. I'm going to have to set up the roster on the main event list here. So our transfers into the main event were the 135 and the 187. '74 and '64. '35 and '94. And '86. So our qualifier went caution-free. There's no telling what the main event here will do. Like I've said already, Jack Ross and Maggie Reames are in a must-win situation here at Bermuda Triangle Super Speedway. 3 drivers are going to go home at the finale of this race here.
Touch all your connections, touch your Hans. Just make sure you get everything like you want it.
And it looks like Maggie Reames is going to do just about everything she needs to do here.
Favor, just touch all your seatbelts, touch all your connections,
Starting
touch your Hans.
third.
Make sure you get everything like you want it.
Guido Piano, also a title contender there in 4th. Ant Me Person starting solidly in the top 10, gives him a chance to keep his fight for the championship in the right direction here. Chadwick in 13th. Tim Kourting starting a little deeper than wanted in 17th, even though it ain't going to hurt him one bit since he's all but locked into the next round. Tim Hansen in 19th. We've got Jessica Hergeson in 29th. And even further back, Jack Ross is starting from dead last. So if he wants to transfer out of this round, he's going to have to come from dead last to win the race today here at Bermuda Triangle Super Speedway. Other drivers at the back here, we've got Gavin Legend, we've got Tayden Berggren, Luis Rodriguez, Andrew Moger, John Brinker, and Al Bunch. Mid-pack, we've got drivers like Jordan Walker, Matthew Fastnot, Trevor Walker, Tim Hansen, Jack Davis, and Atlee Weiss. But with the pole position, we've got Ben Dover and James Roberts. So Jack Ross has got his work cut out for him tonight here, today. Starting in dead last. In a do-or-die win situation on the line for Jack Ross. We'll see if he can pull this off. He's going to have to pass 41 trucks en route to a win here. 80 laps, we'll likely see about 3 pit stop sections, whether that be under caution or during green flag runs. Bindover takes him to the green flag here, and they're off and racing, all 42 trucks here at Bermuda Triangle. Maggie Reames is in a must-win situation here too, so we're going to have to keep an eye on her. This is why the Eliminator rounds exist. We get good action late in the season when championships on the line, when it matters even more than usual to get a win. Bindover, this will be his final races in the USA Truck Series, is that number 51 truck. The charter is going to get bought up by Total Knockout Motorsport and become the number 51 Ford F-150 in 2023. Charlie Chippington there in second at the moment, as we've got a whole slew of 3 wide deep all the way back. Aunt Me Person's peeking on the inside there to take second away from Chippington. A little bit of drafting help from Leeds. Chadwick behind that. And we've got potential lead change here in Aunt Me Person. Aunt Me Person's pretty safe. He's got a 14-point buffer at the moment, so all he's got to do is have a good finish here today. If he wrecks out though, that gives Tim Hansen a chance and Jessica Hergeson both to leap over him and knock out a huge contender. That ain't gonna happen. I highly doubt it, but anything's possible as soon as the race starts. This race could go wreck-free for the entire 80-lap duration, or it could turn into a literal wreck fest. Seems that Bermuda Triangle does not disappoint. We've got a lot of tight, close racing and very high potential for a photo finish at the end of them. Looks like Zach Armstrong's going to take the lead there. Krista held the lead for a brief moment. I wonder where Jack Ross is still deep, back in 35th or so at the moment. Yeah, 39th on track, so he's got very little progress made from the back there. The whole 42 truck field is separated by 2.2 seconds, so it is very tight all the way through the pack. Three abreast, 2 rows back there in the front. Stuck on the outside is 2 heavy contenders of Chadwick and Me Person. Matthew Fastnot just came off a victory his last race at the Dirt Bowl, and looking like he wants to try and sneak out to an early lead here in this one. It's interesting, the trucks actually fall onto the apron on a couple occasions here, it seems like. The AI start to run out of room on track apparently and just cut to the apron. The 04 there is simply riding the track and the apron at the same time, and I doubt there's no reason for him to pit this early, so it ain't a pit stop deal. So Matthew Fastnot off to an early lead here at Bermuda Triangle. Things are going to clip by pretty quickly, being the speeds they're going is 100 to 200, yeah, 200, almost 200 perfect. Our must-win situation drivers are on track. Let's see where they're at. Jack Ross, suffering catastrophe last week at the Dirt Bowl, had a shot to make it into the main event. He was in the top 5 transfer position for the last heat that night and blew an engine. So the only reason he's in a must-win situation is because of terribly bad luck that put him in that situation here. Currently he's worked his way up to 30th, so he's making all the right moves up to the front. He's actually passing Maggie Reames, who started in the top 3, who's fallen all the way back outside of the top 30 at the moment. Jack Ross being in 25th now, he's only 1.6 seconds out of the lead, so we could see a miracle happen here, guys. You never know. That's why I wanted to hold off on the race after I got home late, so late last night. I didn't want to run a race that was very high importance with very little viewer, hoping that there might be something like this that happens today where we get a win and you're in situation that actually plays out here. Especially where Jack Ross started dead last. We have never had a driver come from dead last to the front to win in the USA Truck Series, so it's a feat that can hardly be pulled off, as it's so hard to make position up through the track. For the must-win drivers, I was just hoping that they had a good starting spot to fight for the potential transfer position that they needed. It's like James Robert and Paul Ladino currently lead. Chadwick's fallen back to about 25th here. Jordan Walker in about 20th. And even William Kinsella Jr. has joined the front of the field here, running in 3rd. Pushing his way up to 2nd, past Paul Ladino there. Josh Drake, Andrew Moger, and Trevor Walker, the 3 trucks on the inside groove there with a good draft push. That draft broke up as Trevor Walker went on the inside of both of them. No, it looks like Tim Kourting's lost the draft. He's fallen all the way back to 42nd. Like I said, though, he's pretty well secured. He's got a 40-some point lead over the transfer position. But the only thing I haven't equated for is if we have a surprise winner like Jack Ross that could totally scramble things up. So, yeah, Tim Kourting is about 99% surely locked in because I don't even think he can fall to 6th place. He'll probably fall as far back as 5th, and we'll have a transferee bump out the 6th place driver if they win it. Definitely not a good feeling to have lost the draft this early in the race at a super speedway. Perhaps there's something that went wrong with the 50 truck. Shows that he pitted. Pit out, so he must have just had a pass-through pit stop. Didn't lose a lap, though. I don't know how that even worked. How bizarre. And maybe now it'll cycle around and actually say that he's a lap down. 9 seconds, so he's simply lost the draft at this point. Maybe he's in a safe spot being that far back that he'll actually be able to avoid a potential wreck here. Trevor Walker leads at the moment as Philip Leeds peaks on the inside there. Our lead is definitely very volatile at the moment because we have not had a secure leader for more than a couple laps back to back. Philip Leeds leads that lap. Jessica Hergeson, who's in a precarious position in the points herself, looking decently in 3rd. Yeah, so for a little bit of clarification here, the max points that you can gain from winning the race is 30 points versus the last points paying place of 20th will pay you 1 point. If you look at Tim Kourting has a 38-point lead over the bubble spot. So 38 points short of led most laps and hard charger award. He should be safe. So Kourting and Chadwick, like I said earlier, 32. Chadwick not as much. Tim Kourting a little bit better. We'll just have to see once the points all settle out here at the end. Welcome Llama to the stream. You had a decent start so far, led a couple laps for a brief stint at the front here. Of course, with the super speedways, it's a lot of back and forth rotation at the front, so Maggie Reames, one of our must-win situation, looks like she's back into the top 10 here, running 6th, getting by Atlee there for 5th, and Philip Leeds there for 4th. Avery Farrell leading at the moment. We've got Kat Durham on the inside, making a move, it looks like. Yeah, Maggie wanted to get that inside line, but she held back knowing that it was a little bit risky to make that slide into position there. John Brinker seems to continually surprise us week in, week out as he finds his way up at the front in these races. It's just a matter of time before he finds victory lane here in the USA Truck Series. The way he's running, he definitely has a good truck. Already 1/4 of the way through this race, and we've had a bunch of different leaders at the front. Maggie Reames is doing what she needs to do as she now takes the lead for the first time in this race. If the field were to freeze as is, that would put her into the playoffs. Next round of 6. That lead, although very brief, it looks like Atlee Weiss is going to take it from her on the next lap here. She does get points for leading that lap, though, as she hit the start-finish line and successfully earned herself some bonus points for the lead lap. Although lead lap points only net you 4 extra points, it's still it goes a long way for sure, regardless. So Jack Ross, who's deeper in the pack, is going to hope that he can find his way up to the front to get a ever so important lead lap point as well. Lead lap points, since it's 4 of them. Atlee Weiss currently leads over Tim Hansen and Paul Ladino. Got Al Bunch there in the sucker groove, losing space down the center. Jack Ross just can't seem to find the right momentum to get to the front here. He keeps working his way up to mid-pack and then falling all the way back. He's currently 42nd again on track. 41st since Tim Kourting is in 42nd. Lost the draft. They're probably going to be closing in on Tim Kourting here in a little bit. As you can see, he's on a stretch of road all by himself. You got Atlee Weiss, Paul Ladino, Chris Hergeson, Brandon Petrolsky with a good run here. Perhaps Bermuda Triangle is going to be his lucky streak here, having won the sprint qualifier to make it into the main event. Best run that he's had in a long time, in the top 10 at the moment. It's going to be really hard in the next round to cut these drivers from 6 down to 3, because I could already list you 4 drivers that I think are capable of winning this championship. Chaz Chadwick and Ant Meeperson are, of course, a solid top 2 for any playoff contender at the end of the season here. I'd also have to say the number 10 of Jordan Walker, but at the same time, Tim Kourting has been pretty dominant all season as well. So, like I said, the round of 6 is going to be hard to cut him down to the final 3. Even if we have Tim Hansen and even Maggie Reames, if she pulls off the win here, that'll give Maggie Reames her 2nd win on the season, and it would be hard to deny her a chance at the final 3. So yeah, our round of 9 cutting down to round of 6 is definitely going to be hard, but the round of 6 cutting down to the final 3 is going to be crazy. There we go. Tim Kourting lost a lap there, so he's going to have to hope for some wrecks or something to give him a chance to get back into this one. Chadwick leading over John Brinker, Paul Ladino, and Krista Cower. Thanks to everyone that's tuned in so far and watching this race. There's no telling what the finale's got in store for us here at the Bermuda Triangle. Brought to you by Doritos, because triangle and triangle. Product placement, right? Krista Cower gets in front of Chadwick here for the lead. We've gone wreck-free and caution-free for both our sprint qualifier and the race here, 27 laps into the main event. No cautions, so we've been wreck-free all day today. Very civilized racing at the super speedway, which has always got an opportunity for the big one to happen. Luckily, we still have 42 trucks with a solid shot to win. Paul Ladino would be a big surprise winner, as well as Philip Leeds there. Those two drivers haven't had the greatest of seasons, but would still make anyone's season complete with a win. Braden Hunt led that lap that time. So 2023 is going to be much more well-rounded in the track types that we visit, where we're going to have not only just super speedways and dirt tracks, we're going to have road courses and speedways to add to the wrinkle as well. So it'll definitely help round out the championship. I feel like giving it a more well-rounded approach to the overall drivers champion in 2023. You're not going to just have to rely on crapshoot lottery tickets, winning at the super speedways, and having to survive in the dirt. There's actually going to be technical racing that involves a lot of skill in 2023. I'm simply amazed we've made it this far without a wreck. 30 laps in at Bermuda Triangle, and they are very close and tight up front. Matthew Fastnot leads that lap on lap 31. But simply, we have just had a good race so far to the start of this main event. We're almost halfway through. Must-win contenders, definitely showing some promise. Jack Ross finally finding the inside line again here and getting his way into 25th. He's been there once already today, and it seemed like he kind of plateaued from there and couldn't get any higher. Perhaps now he's going to find a little bit of extra strength here to make it further up the charts here. Not certain. We're probably going to see green flag pit stops around laps 33 to 34 would be my guess. Ultimately, that would put us at lap 68 of 80 for the last round of pit stops. And I might be mistaken too. We might not even get pit stops for another couple laps even. I'm hoping it's either early in this run or way later past 40 so that we don't have a race winner decided on green flag pit stops. Man, just like that, Jack Ross is into the top 15. The inside lane is something special at the super speedways. As long as you can make moves and everyone else is dropping it at the top groove like a rock, you can make up a bunch of spots. Now, green flag pit stops will likely bring out a caution, knowing how things can get kind of chaotic entering pit road, exiting pit road. Matthew Fastnot continues to lead out front here, doing solid. Jack Ross is just flirting with cracking into the top 10 here. Which will be much improved from his 42nd place start. Let's see who has the fastest lap in the race so far. Philip leads with the fastest lap at a 44.6. Second fastest to that was a 44.7 with Atlee Weiss. And William Kinsella Jr. third fastest with a 44.75. Matthew Fastnot, our current leader, holds the fourth fastest lap on track. Our other, let's see, our must-win contenders, the 34 and the 00. Jack Ross has had a 44.8, so they're really all right in the same threshold of fast laps here. And Maggie Reames must have skimmed through. Oh, right there, 44.87 for Maggie. So Jack Ross and Maggie Reames are almost identical in their fastest lap. There we go, Jack Ross into the top 10 at the moment. As our lead is kind of single filed out at the front. Jack Ross possibly made the wrong move there, getting settled into the high groove, as this is probably going to drop him backwards if he can't find a spot on the inside line here. We're looking like we might be able to make it to halfway without a pit stop as we get to lap 37 now. Should be close enough that they can all pit right past halfway and go the rest of the race without a pit stop. There we go. Jack Ross back to the inside, and Maggie Reames just a couple spots behind him, so most of our top 5 are all past winners this season, as we've had Fastnot in victory lane, Avery Farrell, Ant Meeperson, Chaz Chadwick, and Al Bunch. First non-winner is the 187 of Charlie Chippington. But then you look a little bit further back and you've got the 37 of Guido Piano, who's won, and the 64 of myself. James Robert, and the 79 has not won this season, so Chadwick and Meeperson getting on the inside of Fastnot there for the lead as they make the 39th circuit around the track here. Looks like Meeperson to the lead. Oh, damn. We've got... I look away for a brief second as pit stops started to happen. Charlie Chippington must have hit the attenuator coming down onto pit road. Is all I could... Yeah, that's... So, the 37 of Guido Piano, a title contender, and non-title contender, man, I don't know why the track's designed like that, but the track does not allow for efficient slowdown on pit road entry, apparently. 3 made it just fine. Damn. On the 187 of Chippington came back out on track and toasted Krista. Philip Leeds and Gavin Legend get wound up in it, all from the same Chippington wreck here at the front. Chippington's truck comes flying back out on track, collecting as many as we're seeing here. Minimal wreck outs, but damn, that was a hard hit for Charlie Chippington. Now we know that the limit of the race, they can make it the rest of the way, as we've got to halfway. Pit road is a nightmare here, evidently, as they tried to come down onto pit road and slammed in the attenuator, ending the day for Chippington, and the other truck that wrecked was the 37 of Guido Piano. Their trucks came back out onto the track, taking out numerous other trucks involved, including the 17 of Jack Davis, the 66 of Philip Leeds, the 98 of Krista Cower, the 89 of Gavin Legend, and the 35 of Kat Durham. I forgot better cautions, and I'm wondering if I can actually turn that on now. If I minimize it, I'm afraid if I minimize it, the game will crash. Was better cautions would have kept them from hitting the pit road attenuator like that. I'm trying to weigh my odds right now, because if I do, I don't want to reset the race. I know for a fact that double file restarts don't really make a difference to much of the super speedway racing, because they'll get packed back up pretty dang quickly. So we'll just we'll leave it as is for now. The one, I guess, benefit of this will be the lap down traffic's going to start on the inside and might have a potential shot at getting their lap back here. That's the other thing. I don't think Does better cautions actually do a wave around feature? The EXC that you were telling me about does a better, does wave rounds, right? The modified EXE for NR 2003. What the hell's going on with pit road? Well, everything's gonna get turned upside down here as seems like a lot of trucks stuck on pit road at the moment, losing laps as we speak. Maggie Reames being one of them, still trapped on pit road here. And this will likely seal any shots at a championship round of 9, moving on to round of 6 for her. It's weird. Well, now we know Bermuda Triangle is going to be off of the Bermuda and Bullet both. I was really hoping some of these tracks would impress, but there's a few of them that have failed to impress. The last dirt race, though, at the Dirt Devil Bowl was definitely a huge win for the series. Definitely gonna return to that track in 2023. Now in the midst of all this, we've got 35 trucks left after all the carnage. Currently, first of our lap down traffic is Tim Kourting in 32nd. Then you have the 09, the 08, and the 43, all 2 laps down apiece. Jack Ross sitting in 6th at the moment, hoping he can get to the front and win this race with 37 laps to go here. He would be pulling off another miracle if he's able to win this race today. Green flag's off and they're back in racing. Tim Kourting in the 50 is going to be hoping that they get a caution right off the start here, and it'll give him his lap back. How unlikely that would be, it seems, because we have not had very many wrecks all night, all day here. And I think the one common occurrence between the two tracks is that they're both non-restrictor plate racetracks. Bullet, they get up to 195 or so, and then this one they get up to 200. And so the game didn't really anticipate for the cars and trucks to be going over 180 miles an hour. So when they pull down onto pit road to get into pits, they don't whoa up enough, would be my guess. But yeah, no, Bullet would be, I could probably try it again with better cautions enabled to see if it actually helps the product there. "35 laps to go here, and it looks like William Kinsella Jr. is currently leading. Nope, take that back. Chadwick to the lead now. leads lap 46. David Bird with a solid run here in third at the moment. Avery Farrell up to second. Looks like John Brinker's off the lead pace. 28th, 2.8 seconds back. Avery Farrell takes the point at the front there, blocking all three lanes of traffic to keep that lead. Chris Ferguson with a run on the inside. Looks like he has to settle with falling in behind. Nope, he's gonna steal the lead here. A little bit of drafting help from Andrew Moger. And it seems like the rest of them that were on pit road still haven't been able to come off pit road, as they've fallen to 4 laps down now. Still, yep, still on pit road. So there must have been extra failures that extended past the wreck. Andrew Moger leads over Luis Rodriguez at the moment. As we're looking back here at Jack Ross, potentially with an opportunity to win here today. The last of our points contenders that has a chance to win it, as Maggie Reames is 4 laps down out of it. This time by, it's going to be 30 laps to go. So a lot of racing, a lot can happen here in the closing 30 laps. We could have a big wreck that takes out half the field. It's always a plausibility at these super speedways. See if our fastest laps changed any. Sadly, the fastest lap right now belongs to the 187 of Chippington, who wound up crashing into the attenuator. And Guido Piano. So our two fastest drivers wound up wrecking out because they were too fast. And maybe there was a throttle stick or something. Maybe their throttle got stuck and they couldn't whoa up. They were trying to pull it onto pit road and failed to do so. Atlee Weiss just barely holding the lead at the moment over Jordan Walker. Didn't stay for long as Jordan Walker takes the lead from him. Avery Farrell and Atlee Weiss, two teammates, running second and third at the moment. Then you got Trevor Walker and Ant Me Person running 4th and 5th. Braden Hunt solidly in the top 5 now as he gets by Ant Me Person there. Kellen Oakley with a decent run. He was eliminated after the round of 12, cut down to the round of 9. So he's simply running for race wins since then. Also the 29 of Tristan Reames. of Tristan Reames there had also got eliminated from the first round of the playoffs. Seems that he's struggling to keep it up front. Season started off good when he won the shakeup race and inherited the large $150,000 bonus and the best rating for the season. Seems that the rest of the field's kind of passed him by here towards the end. It looks like Brinker's going a lap down right now. As Braden Hunt to the front over Austin Mullins and Kellen Oakley at the moment. And throws Zach Armstrong in there in the mix. He's up to 4th on the inside lane there in the Sunny D, right behind the Fanta truck. Austin Mullins has not won a race this season, so this would be another new winner. Actually, our whole top 4 all would be new winners, as Mullins, Hunt, Armstrong, and Moger have not won yet this season. Throwing a few more, we got Brandon Petrolsky and Josh Drake. Josh Drake, in only his second start, got a top 3 finish. So he's kind of been a surprise candidate for a win as of late, showing up late to the show. Cat Durham's truck actually got wound up in a wreck earlier in the race. Yeah, it shows as a piston in it, but it was all directly related to the wreck early on lap 39 where Charlie Chippington ran into the pit road attenuator, came back out onto the racetrack, and caused multiple trucks to wreck out from the race. And the game simply lists it as a mechanical failure, even though it was all directly related to the accident on lap 39. It looks like Jack Ross has actually kind of lost the lead draft at the moment. It's not good for his title opportunities in the closing laps here. It does have a 3-truck draft there, especially with the help of Ant Me Person, so he's in good hands drafting wise to get back into that pack. Yeah, there we go. Jack Ross makes it back up into the lead pack here, as he's now right on the tail end of it, as well as Ant Me Person. Nathan Morgan there in the 8 truck. failed to make the playoffs and then went on to win a race in the round of the playoffs. So with 21 laps to go here, this is setting up for the final run to the front, and Jack Ross might be looking to make all the right moves to win this race here. It's going to take a lot of patience and a lot of luck. He's going to have to find all the right moves to make it there. One of our faster trucks of Aunt Me Person is this far back. There's sure room for anyone back this far to make it to the front. So Aunt Me Person's been leading multiple occasions. Something looked like smoke there, but it was just the catch fence that looked like smoke. It was kind of deceiving. At first I thought someone was blowing up. They all continue going, no blow-ups, as our current leader is the 04 of Chris Hergeson over a 3-wide bunch of Lewis Trost, James King, and Andrew Moger, it looked like. Andrew Moger settles into second in front of King. Going for the lead there on Hergeson. Gives him a slight bump on the left quarter panel and makes the move with ease. Be another non-title contender up front leading these races here, as the top 5 are all non-title contenders. 6th place, you got Jordan Walker, and then you have to look even further back to Jessica Hergeson in nearly 10th place for the other title contender. Jessica Hergeson's doing everything she needed to do today to stay afloat. Our points battle might be getting kind of more concrete here in the closing laps, as Tim Hansen, multiple laps down, is out of contention. Well, actually, I take that back. He's still on the lead lap. Tim Hansen's running 27th, but that's only good for 1 point. And 1 point behind Jessica Hergeson at the start of this race does him no good, as Jessica Hergeson is running 12th and guaranteed at least an extra point, 1 point above what Tim Hansen's getting at the moment. So now the actual bubble spot turns into Jessica Hergeson over Aunt Me Person, and whether Jack Ross comes through to win this race. If Jack Ross wins this race and Jessica Hergeson finishes 14 spots in front of Aunt Me Person, actually maybe not even that, even if Jessica Hergeson finishes second and Aunt Me Person finishes like 12th or so, we could be looking at Jack Ross having knocked Aunt Me Person out. That's a lot of speculation and definitely not a guaranteed analysis, but it could happen here. Guido Piano, I didn't even realize that, but Guido Piano is out. So Guido Piano is going to be falling way back to 6th in the points most likely here. As Jessica Hergeson and Aunt Me Person are both having a solid run. So Aunt Me Person is safe as long as he doesn't wreck out. There's no way that previous analysis would be accurate, because I forgot all about Guido Piano, who is right now out of the race after wrecking out. Guido Piano is hoping for the fact that Jack Ross does not pull off the victory here. Maggie Reames is out. She's on pit road and hasn't returned to race yet, so she is your first elimination for sure. Definitely the first one out of contention, moving on to the round of 6. Jack Ross still has a very viable fighting chance here as he's in the lead pack. All it's going to take is him to get in the inside line and make all the right moves to take the lead in the closing laps here. And we would see a huge shakeup. Likely, if that happened, though, Jack Ross would knock out Guido Piano and not Aunt Me Person, as Aunt Me Person and Jessica Hergeson are both running solidly in the top 10. Trevor Walker took the lead there at the moment. And Tim Hansen's about to go a lap down, so this is going to... Oh, no, my bad. That's the actual 78 truck of John Brinker going a second lap down. Oh, and we got a wreck. Oh, it's so close. They didn't wreck, but it was all but a wreck there at the lead. As Atlee Weiss and Trevor Walker got into it. They keep going straight. No one wrecks, and Trevor Walker actually has the lead after that ordeal there. So lucky that we didn't have a wreck. That could have took out the entire front of the field. Then there'd be no telling how this would play out. Jack Ross making moves to the front here. Back into the top 10, it looks like, cracking into it. And not far off of cracking into the top 5. With 12 laps to go, he might be making his moves way too soon here. He might be wanting to make all this charge to the front in another 10 laps with 2 laps to go. We'll see. If it pays off, he might get some bonus points for leading a lap, but that doesn't do much for him since he's going to need to win the race regardless. He's going to get shuffled into the middle groove here, and that's going to hurt him a little bit. Chadwick and Jordan Walker out front in a 2-truck breakaway. Jack Ross's opportunity might present itself here as he can get back on the inside line after David Bird gave up the position there on the inside. And Jack Ross settles in with a solid top 10 at the moment. Sitting peachy for these last 10 laps for sure. You're going to make all the right moves and potentially find a transfer out of the round of 6 into the round of 6. Against all odds, this might be one of the craziest transfers if it happens here. We'll not count our chickens before they hatched, but qualified 42nd. Jack Ross, all odds against him. And he's flirting with fighting for the lead here in the last 10 laps at Bermuda Triangle Super Speedway. He might have a golden horseshoe or something after bad luck that he had last week at the Dirt Bowl. He was in a transfer position to make it on to the main event, and then he blew up with closing laps in the last heat race at the dirt track, and it relegated him to a must-win scenario here at Bermuda Triangle, and you never want to be in a must-win situation because that puts a lot of pressure on your team, on the driver, to perform and actually pull off the miracle. Jack Ross is actually going to be leading here on lap 72, it looks like, as they're going to be approaching the lap traffic of Tim Kourting. And there is absolutely no telling how this is going to shake up the standings. Tim Kourting is going to end up going high, so that gives Jack Ross the inside. Jack Ross leading that lap. He's only got 8 laps to hold off and prevail for a victory here if he can pull it off. Atlee Weiss has been a strong truck all day in second there. I doubt that Ross is going to hold him off for the lead at the moment, but Jack Ross is going to have to find, as soon as he can, get back on the inside line. Lewis Trost with a solid run there, sitting in 5th at the moment. Atlee takes the lead. Jack Ross falls back to 2nd. And this might be best case scenario for Jack Ross to get another opportunity to fight for it here in the closing laps, to actually not be a sitting duck in the lead. Man, his truck is holding in strong on the outside line there, better than most of the others, because most drivers, once they get to the outside lane, they drop like a rock. Jack Ross, on the other hand, makes passes. Look at that. He passed Lewis Trost there to stay within the top 5 at the moment. They're making that outside lane look appealing. They're drafting and making some moves. At the moment, the inside lane, of course, is going to prevail on the turns, but something they got going on for the outside lane during the long straights at Raceway. 6 laps, things are getting nitpick here. Nip tuck. Jack Ross, if he wants to win this race, is going to have to find his way on into the inside lane, and that's going to be increasingly hard as they bunch up very tightly around him. His truck's fast enough that he could still win this race if he was able to find just an opportunity to get on the inside. Tim Kourting there might be an opportunity to give him a little bit of buffer to get on the inside. Tim Kourting's holding him high. He's trying. But to no avail, as we've got 5 laps to go and Zach Armstrong currently leads. There might be his last opportunity with Atlee Weiss taking it to get on the inside lane there. Jack Ross is going to have at least some space on the inside. If he darts down as far as he can right there, he should be able to get it. He's got it. He's got an opportunity. He needs to take it. The window has opened. There we go. Jack Ross deep down on the inside. And 4 laps to go. It's do or die. His last opportunity to pull out victory here tonight and secure his way into the round of 6. Very much within reach here. Atlee Weiss has had a strong run of it today. Brandon Petrolsky has been a surprise through and through, sitting in the top 5 at the moment. Chadwick sitting in about 6th or 7th as he's losing spots there on the outside. And with 3 laps to go now, Jack Ross just needs to keep his head down and stay on the inside lane as much as possible here. Zach Armstrong, sadly, is going to be the sitting duck out front as he's leading in the closing laps here. Highly doubt that he's going to be the one pulling off victory here. He is in the lead at the wrong time. And just like that, he loses the lead to James Robert. And it's going to get freight trained by everyone on the inside lane here. The 3 of Kinsella Jr. seems to be holding up Jack Ross ever so slightly. And Jack Ross is getting under attack on the inside lane almost. Yeah, he's still keeping the low side here at the moment, as Andrew Moger takes the lead from James Robert. And Brandon Petrolsky looking to take the lead here. Austin Mullins making a pass on Jack Ross on the inside, so that's going to hurt Jack Ross's shots at winning this right here, as Austin Mullins pulls off that position. That's about all she wrote there for Jack Ross, I'd imagine. As now it's going to turn into the top 5 trucks here for the fight for the win. Andrew Moger in only his 3rd or 4th start of the series, out front leading. Jordan Walker would like to have a little bit of extra playoff points with a win here. That would secure him 10 more bonus points into the round of 6. 79 of 80 laps. The 78 of John Brinker is going to come into the mix again. On the white flag lap here, we'll see how that affects the outcome of this race. White flag is waving. Andrew Moger gets the worst of it as the 78 truck holds him up. Brandon Petrolsky in 2nd there. But Jordan Walker wants this victory as it will help him in the round of 6, give him a little bit more of a buffer from potential elimination into the final round of 3. Valiant effort put on by Jack Ross. It was just not enough to pull out the victory here and lock his way in. But we are going to have a championship contender winning here today at Bermuda Triangle Super Speedway. Title contender Jordan Walker pulls off victory and secures 10 extra points that'll follow him all the way into the round of 6 here. I think it's safe to say that Jack Ross is out, Maggie Reames is out, and our last transfer spot will probably belong to, let's see, and the 9 of Tim Hansen. Let's see where he actually come home. He came home in 26, so Tim Hansen also out. Our 3 eliminations were the 3 that came in on the bottom of the bubble, so no drama there, as 7th, 8th, and 9th remained 7th, 8th, and 9th at the end of the race here. Congratulations to the 10 of Jordan Walker on a well-earned win here at Bermuda Triangle. Also, congratulations to the drivers moving on of Tim Kourting, Chaz Chadwick, Ant Me Person, Jordan Walker, and the other 2, Jessica Hergeson and Guido Piano, for moving on. So we've only got 4 races left in the USA Truck Series, and it's getting pretty tight at the front. Our top 6, round of 6, is going to be fun to watch because it's going to be hard to tell who's the 3 that can transfer out. Going in now with Jordan Walker at 2 wins, Chaz Chadwick 2 wins, and Tim Kourting at 2 wins. Each of them have 20 bonus points, but also Chadwick, having been the regular season champion, also has an extra 25. So Chadwick gets a pretty good buffer going into the round of 6, but everyone in that round is going to be really close amongst the top 6. So there's no telling. That 45 points buffer could go away in one race. Jordan Walker has definitely been a surprise kind of underdog He hasn't shown much strength early in the season, but he came on strong towards the latter half and has put himself in contention as one of the top 3 drivers for sure. Chadwick, Tim Kourting, and Jordan Walker, and then you got Ant Meperson, who should be in that top 3 as well. It's just a very, very tight-knit top 6. So many thanks again, everyone, for tuning in. That was definitely a very fun race to announce and very fun race to spectate on. There was a little bit of glitchiness in the pit road and pit road attenuator and stuff, but other than that, it didn't really cause big commotion for the points battle, as we kept our top 8 or top 6 stayed on throughout the entire race and never wavered. So glad y'all could tune in. Thanks again, and hopefully we'll see you on the next stream. Many thanks. This is Jakester signing out.